AuthorTube Newbie Tag. AuthorTube Newbie Tag. AuthorTube Newbie Tag. Okay. Alright, you can say that combination of words. AuthorTube Newbie Tag. Hello friends, it's your writing friend, Sean M. Locke, and now that we are about 3 videos deep into this new AuthorTube channel, I thought maybe I would do the AuthorTube Newbie Tag questions and give you a little bit more about me, your new writing friend. The original link to the questions I'll include in the description below, but chances are good if you watch a lot of AuthorTube, then you already kind of know what I'm talking about. We'll start with question number 1, which is, see, I'm old. I'm getting older, which means that I have to do this tromboning of text in front of my face to to see what I'm looking at. Question number 1. How did you find out about AuthorTube? I originally found out about AuthorTube via Jenna Moressi's channel on writing advice, craft advice, and self-publishing. She's definitely kind of hashtag goals when it comes to being an indie author and making a good living at writing and publishing books. Through her, I ended up discovering some other authors like Natalia Lee, the Word Nerds folks, Shaylin Bishop, Abby Emmons, and a few others. They're all really great, and I learned so much from watching their videos. It's amazing. Question 2, what genres do you write in? So I major in low fantasy with an industrial edge, and I take minors in crime noir, murder mystery, and military adventure. I should probably explain a little bit about what low fantasy is. High fantasy, at least as far as I understand it, is your fantasy with got your elves and your dwarves and magic is rich in the world. Low fantasy is more like everyday world. So you might have some secondary world, but you're dealing with everyday folks, and there might be magic in the world, but maybe they don't have a lot of access to it. That's what I like. And I like it with a little bit of an industrial edge. So instead of some medieval time frame of technology and society, that mine's targeted more around the early 20th century. You'll see some of my fiction will be set in more of a 1910s, 1920s aesthetic, technology, and that sort of thing, but on a secondary world. Question 3, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? So I definitely write adult fiction. Nothing wrong with YA for sure, it's just that I could never really get into it myself for reading it, so I don't think I'd do great for writing it. New adult, unfortunately, is not a thing, not really, but I really wish it was. It was a good chunk of my protagonists end up being in the new adult age range of early to mid-20s or so, which is hilarious because, I'm rapidly careening towards my mid-40s, and I have a feeling I don't really remember what it's like to be in my mid-20s anymore, but I can speculate, and that's what I write, is speculative fiction, so there we are. Most of my fiction is either going to be first-person past tense, much the same way that your classic crime noir stories are, or a close third-person past tense, like, your run-of-the-mill fantasy and science fiction stories. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4. Question number 4. Are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? I don't like that word, plantser. It's a fine word. I don't like saying the word. I'm a plotter, for sure. I have to heavily outline everything. You might remember from a previous video that I talked about writing with a day job. I'm a longtime corporate stooge. I'm an award-winning flannel dad. What limited writing time I have has to be highly optimized so that when I do get my 2 25-minute writing sessions in any given day, that I know exactly what I'm going to write and that I can crank out a couple of hundred words. If I'm just kind of writing into the dark, God only knows what I would come up with, if anything at all. So I have to heavily outline. And I do talk a little bit about outlining in my writing with a day job video, which I would love it if you check that out. Question number 5. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I have indie published 1 novel, and I do have a couple of short stories out in various small press anthologies. Question 6. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? So I'm published by Galaxy Brain Press, which is a company of my own making, and Galaxy Brain Press has only 1 author in its stable, and guess what? It's me. So essentially, Galaxy Brain Press is just an entity that I set up in order to lend me a little bit of credibility as an indie publisher. Don't tell anyone. Question 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channels? I've only got 3 other videos out right now, and 2 of them are full of dubious advice, and one of them is a blatant appeal for more subscribers by doing a giveaway. I'm not sure if I'm exactly qualified to be giving out writing advice, but I am a 40-something-year-old man living in America, so I think I'm obligated to give advice whether I'm qualified or not. But I'm going to do my very best to give any advice that I do have humbly and thoughtfully, and being open to the idea of being wrong. And I'll always welcome you guys to chime in on the comments to say, hey, actually, this is a better way to do whatever it is that I'm talking about. Going forward, I expect I'll post more videos about the craft of writing, indie publishing business as I learn more about it, and mental and physical health as it regards writing. Question 8. When did you start writing? I took my degree in creative writing, a bachelor's degree from Colorado State University in 1998, and of course fell promptly into an information technology career because that's what you're going to do with an English degree, probably. I didn't really attempt writing again after I got my degree until about 2006, which was immediately after my youngest was born, and I was working a stressful IT job, and I was working nights, so it sounds like a perfect time to pick up a whole new passion project of writing, am I right? It took me until December 2018 to publish my very first novel, Reciprocity, easily 20 years after I took my degree, so that's a ride. Question 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? I'm sure that I don't remember. I've lived a long time. The first story that I probably ever wrote in a serious way where I thought that, hey, this is a short story, quote unquote, was probably when I was doing my creative writing degree way back in the 20th century. And thank God that's all lost to the mists of time. The first story that I ever got published was in a queer superhero anthology from 2013 called Out for a Hero. It's not available on Amazon anymore, but if you go take a little walk onto Storm Moon Press, you'll probably find it there. Question 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? Oh, God. Okay, I hope you're sitting down because here we go. So we've got classic crime noir and murder mystery authors like Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, Agatha Christie. I've got 90s and aughts science fiction and alternate history writers like Harry Turtledove, S.M. Sterling, C.J. Sherraw, Peter F. Hamilton, and then there's more contemporary fantasy and science fiction authors like N.K. Jemisin, Cameron Hurley, R.F. Kuang, got your Fonda Lee, got your Django Wexler. And look, all of this is not to say that these authors, that I write like these authors, because that would be a pretty bold thing to say. But let's just say that they are also kind of #goals. Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you feel like you can find the time? Oh gosh, it's a bit of both. Like I said in my previous video, having a calendaring system to schedule my writing time, it goes a long way towards helping me get consistent output done. But sometimes that scheduling can happen on really short notice, like something gets canceled, so I've got 15-20 minutes that I can sit down and write, so we're going to schedule that right now and get that done. Question number 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand? No, that'd be insane. Or use a blend of these. So mostly on the computer, mostly using Scrivener. Like I've said before, that is a invaluable tool for me to get literally anything done. However, I am a little bit nervous about carrying around a costly laptop everywhere that I go. So I did end up picking up this $30 gadget, about which I will make a video sometime soon. This Alpha Smart Neo 2. You might have seen these guys before, but they are just like a simple word processing machine that they'll have, here you can see a couple of lines of something that I was just recently writing, and that you plug it into your laptop via USB, and it'll just kind of type out everything that you've written for the day into Scrivener or whatever the program is on the computer that you use. I'm really excited to start working that into my workflow, like maybe have a Trello card or Asana task or something like that. That has the couple 4 or 5 bullet points that I wanted to write about next, and then type it out on the Alpha Smart Neo. So I'm kind of excited about this new writing gadget. Question number 13. Where do you write in general? I have this new home office in which I'm filming right now, where I like to do the bulk of my writing. But let's be honest, if I'm at home and I'm going to sit down to write, suddenly, very suddenly, the laundry that I need to do, the counters that I need to wipe down, the, I don't know, doors that I need to unhang and rehang, and the ceilings that I need to vacuum all become the most important thing in the world sometimes. And so a lot of times I need to change the scenery. And so I'll break out and go to a local coffee shop or something. And the social pressure of having a bunch of people there and milling around is a great way for me to get some writing done. And sometimes the hustle and bustle of hearing other people working and talking and that kind of thing also helps me kind of get in the mood to write. I'm sure it does the same for you too. All right, question 14. What are you most looking forward to now that you are a part of AuthorTube? I'm hoping to make connections with other authors, both indie published and traditionally published. I have a feeling that, for the most part, the audience of AuthorTube is other AuthorTubers, so I'm not terribly certain that I'm going to necessarily reach a bunch of new readers this way, though if I did, that'd be pretty awesome. But in any case, if I do make some new connections with indie and traditionally published authors, then I think that could be pretty great, because, we could all use more friends around here. And if I'm being honest, I'd also like to start building out a clientele for my newborn freelance copy editing and proofreading business. I'm not sure if YouTube is the right place to do that, but hey, we'll give it a go. And I mean, listen, writing can be a lonesome endeavor, and we could always use more friends, right? So that's it from me, my answers to the AuthorTube Newbie Tag questions. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say the first 5 or 6 takes that I did this, but I think I've got it now. AuthorTube Newbie Tag questions. Those are my answers. If you're an AuthorTuber, comment below. Let me know what your channel is, and maybe I'll come and check you out too, because I could always stand to learn some more. And if you're not an AuthorTuber, I definitely want you to comment below, because I want to know how you got here. I'm really curious to see who's the audience for AuthorTube that aren't other AuthorTubers. Are you an enthusiastic reader? Do you want to be an author and you're just not sure how to go about it? But anyway, yes, please tell me that below. I'm really curious as to what your experience is as a consumer of AuthorTube videos. And hey, if you like this video, please click like, comment, subscribe to the channel, click the bell. It lets that all-seeing and all-knowing algorithm know that you like content from me and you'd like to see more of what I've got. And until then, maybe check out one of the other handful of videos that I've got, which I will put somewhere. I'm not yet sure where it ends up, but it'll be somewhere. And yeah, maybe you'll like those videos as well. And until then, we'll see you next time, friends.